Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here, returning to you for this next album review, and I hope you guys will enjoy this album review for the next Judas Priest Marathon Studio album review for Point of Entry, the 1981 record that's in between British Steel and Screaming for Vengeance, with Screaming for Vengeance as the next album I will be reviewing. But overall, I'm going to discuss what I listened to for Judas Priest's Point of Entry album and let you know my thoughts on this seventh studio album overall. So let's dive into this album review. It starts with Heading Out to the Highway. Pretty good song in its own way, but it's not like mind blowing in any way. It has some good catchy grooves with how like the melody basically sounds pretty groovy in a way. But overall, I think Rob Halford singing in it is solid for what it goes for, so it's pretty strong. So 4.75 out of 5. Then we get Don't Go, which is a good song. It does rely on the chorus a lot, this track, and it's a little repetitious. And it's not terrible, but it's just a little repetitious in its own way. So 4.5 out of 5. Rob Halford singing in it is pretty good, but just the way it sounds, it comes off like, okay, this is just another mainstream track I can like, but not really like. It's not like one of a fan favorite kind of track, but it's a good song in its own way. Hot Rockin' is gonna get a 4.75 out of 5, and like I said, Don't Go's getting a 4.5 out of 5. Just to backtrack on that real quick. But yeah, back to Hot Rockin'. It's pretty catchy for the most part with how Rob Halford's singing it and just the execution of when the chorus comes in. It sounds pretty strong, so I'd give this a 4.75 out of 5 for this one. Pretty good song in its own way. It has some moments where I don't know if I feel for when the chorus comes in, but the verses are kind of a little bit of a drag, but they're not terrible. So yeah, 4.75 out of 5. Turning Circles is a good song in its own way. This one just felt like it went by really fast, but it was still a good song for how it sounded. Rob Halford was singing it alright, I guess. So, and just the way it sounded overall, did good. Just with the drumming and guitar work, it's solid, but this ain't a song that's like very mind blowing. So 4.5 out of 5. Desert Plains is probably my favorite track on this record. Um, the only favorite song. It's worthy of a 5 out of 5. Really enjoyed how Rob Halford was singing it. Just the way the melody sounded overall was my kind of song for sure. So 5 out of 5 for this one. I really enjoyed Desert Plains. It's probably my personal favorite track off this Point of Entry album. Then we get to Solar Angels, which is a pretty good song in its own way, but not like a highlight to this record. It's just a solid, pretty good song in its own way. It just, the way Rob Halford's singing it has its good moments and its weak moments, but execution wise, I think the track pulled it off in its own way to be entertaining for the most part. So 4.75 out of 5. You Say Yes, it does rely on the chorus, this one, a lot, and it's a little repetitious with its chorus, and the verses are solid, but the chorus is kind of like the downhill of the song. It's not terrible, but it's just like a pretty samey chorus you get into where he says, "You say yes, I say no," and it's like, okay. This track is kind of not memorable, but it's good in its own way with the melody. So 4.5 out of 5. All the Way is a good song for how it sounds too. This track doesn't really offer much. Just has good vocals from Rob Halford, but execution wise, I think this track tried, but it was a little too try hard with some moments in the track with its melody and execution. But yeah, 4.5 out of 5. Troubleshooter is a good song for how it sounds too. I was trying to get into this with the verses. Verses were solid. Chorus was kind of like, let's just get through it kind of stuff. It was a samey chorus. It didn't sound terrible. It was just alright. So 4.5 out of 5 for Troubleshooter. And finally, the closing track, On the Run. It's a good song for how it sounds, but it's not a personal favorite of mine. Like, the last 4 tracks from 7 to 10 are kind of where the album's reception's gonna get a little bit low. So, you'll see what I'm gonna rate it at the end of the review. So, pretty much On the Run. It has good vocals from Rob Halford, but its execution with its melody and how the harmonizing sounded, it was alright. So 4.5 out of 5. Overall, production, mixing, and execution wise, I think Judas Priest's Point of Entry, their 1981 record, was an average listen. It's not as good as British Steel, but I hear Screaming for Vengeance is a lot better from what I heard from some of my friends saying that it's a pretty strong release. So I'm going to give that a shot and see what I think of it for the next go around, and that review will be tomorrow, along with another Judas Priest record for May 22nd. I think it'll be Ram It Down or something, the 1985 record. But overall, if I were to give Judas Priest's Point of Entry its deserved score, I'm feeling an average 7.5 out of 10. It's in the middle with me. It's kind of mediocre. I think with how its melodies and harmonizing sounded for some of this record, it kind of threw me off a little, this record. It wasn't like a classic favorite to British Steel. It wasn't like a great follow-up, but it was an average follow-up, if you get where I'm going with it. It was not bad, but it could have been a little better. It was just, some of the chorus was a little, for certain songs, were kind of samey and repetitious, and it's just mainstream in a way, but nothing terrible. So, it's an average listen. I guess check it out for yourself to see what you think of it. But overall, 7.5 out of 10 for Judas Priest's Point of Entry, their 1981 record. Hopefully you enjoyed this album review. This afternoon I will have the Screaming for Vengeance album review coming out tonight, after I do the Godsmack, the Oracle re-review for my members only re-review. And if you have not done that, like join the channel, definitely join the channel to watch the Godsmack members only reviews, because all you have to do is just pay $2.99 to $9.99, around that price range, because I try to make it a little fair for people to afford it, because I know how hard it is to afford things because of inflation and because of things being very tight for money, and unemployment's at its rise again. So, and there was one more thing I wanted to mention real quick. I'll have a little special video about buying my merch on Pop Pop Tees, which I'm going to say it real quick. Definitely go check out poppoptees.com for my Brian Delivers You the Goods merch. And I have the link on my channel if you guys are interested in purchasing merch from me. Definitely go and purchase merch on my poppoptees.com channel, the website. And it's a close friend of mine that got me to get my own merch, and I really greatly appreciate everything he's done for me. So, pretty much, yeah. To end this review, 7.5 out of 10 for point of entry. I thought I'd let you guys know about the Pop Pop Tees thing, because it keeps escaping my mind from not talking about it, just to encourage my fan base to try to go and purchase some shirts, coffee mug, blanket, whatever they want to purchase. I mean, the design's going to be changing pretty soon, but I'll keep you posted on when that happens. But until then, thanks for watching this Judas Priest point of entry review, and I'll see you in the Screaming for Vengeance album review tonight. Thanks for watching.